So, good day everyone. I am JV Trinidad and this is my partner Gianmarlo Celestius. So, we are the researcher of Butiled IA3. So, for today's video, we are going to discuss our research output which is entitled Solar Power Assembly Trainer. So, the following features and components will be discussed by my partner Gianmarlo. So, good day everyone. I am going to introduce our device. This is entitled the Solar Power Assembly Trainer. So the main reason why we come up with this research is because some areas here in our locality doesn't have electricity, and in this way, we will be teaching students the different fundamentals on how to set up a solar power station. So as you can see, here are the major components. First, we have the photovoltaic panel. And also, our device is just like a box. It has a safety lock and also a handle to easy for us to carry around. So we are going to open it now. So as you can see, here is now our device when we open. And in the upper part, we can see the different components, which is of course the different terminals. This is where we will plug our solar panel. Also, we have the charge controller. This one regulates the voltage and amperage of the power that is being harvested. And also we have the different loads for DC and AC. And we have the switches to turn on the loads. And also we have a convenience outlet, inverter outlet, and the different battery terminals. This one we can perform a series circuitry and parallel circuitry for our device. So we are going now to the lower part of our device, which we can see there are different um, components that are available, and also this is where the compartment for our different power cords. And in this portion, the different components that are available are the circuit breaker, the inverter outlet, and also the terminals for these two. And as you can see, there are four batteries which are in our device because it will be accommodating the 220 volts power. So this is our different components of our device, and later on we will be discussing the different activities for the students. So that's all, and thank you.
So good day everyone. Since you have familiarized the basic features, basic parts, and the nature of the device, we can now proceed in finding the perfect location and the specific angle for our device uh, to gather energies. So this is it, the perfect location for the solar panel to gather and absorb solar energy. And now we're back, and we're going to have our first activity, the series parallel connection. First, we're going to connect the negative of battery 1 to the positive of battery 2, as well as the negative of battery 3 to the positive of battery 4. Next, we have to connect the battery 1 positive to the positive of battery 3 for the parallel connection, as well as the battery 2 to battery 4 for our negative parallel connections. After that, we're going to connect the direct current connector to the battery out, and the negative one of the direct connectors to battery out. And now we're going to measure the voltage of our battery connection, series parallel. Okay, here we are. We have 12 volts. So that's our first activity, the series parallel connection. And now we're going to proceed to our second activity, the battery to inverter connections. First, we're going to connect the positive of the battery to the positive of the inverter and the negative to the negative of the inverter. To test this, we're going to turn on the inverter. Oh, and it turns on. Now we're going to turn it off, and that's how the battery to inverter connections. For our third activity, we're going to connect the inverter to switch into the 220 volts alternating current. So, and now we're going to use this blue wire that represent alternating current. First, we're going to connect the positive of the inverter to the switch 1, and first longer. Mas laba ba? And the negative of the direct current, alternating current load with 20 volts. Next, we're going to connect and now we're going to connect the switch. We're going to connect the switch to our load. And we're just going to try it on the inverter. Turn on the switch 1, and voila! The activity is completed.
So our next activity is the connection of our photovoltaic. So we're done in placing our photovoltaic outside directly into the sunlight. So now we need to connect the positive and negative into photovoltaic in one. Next, we have to connect the photovoltaic into photovoltaic out one. And now we are going to connect the photovoltaic out to into our charge controller. So now let's try the connection of our charge controller. So as you can see, it's working. So we're done in a photovoltaic connection. So the next activity would be the connection of charge controller to the battery. So let's connect the positive charge to positive. So that is the connection of our charge controller and the battery.
Good day, everyone. So we are going to discuss the do's and don'ts of solar power assembly trainer. So I'm the one who discussed the don'ts. So the first do's is reading and understand the manual because it is essential for us to read and understand the manual of this device for our safety and correct and use to correct. The second is handling with care because if we need to use this device, we need to handle it care to prevent losses disconnection. So the next is following safety guidance. So in following safety guidance, before we use it or doing activities, we need to wear appropriate safety clothes or PPE. So the next is the final inspection. So before we assemble this device, we need to inspect first this each components to prevent damage.
So my name is Ralph Lauren Paul, and I will be now discussing the don'ts in solar power assembly trainer. So for the first one, do not rush the assembly process. Take take your time while assembling the power trainer. So rushing through can process lead to a mistake and improper connections. So for the second one is don't force connections. Avoid applying excessive force when connecting components, because if a connection feels difficult or resistant, double check the alignment and ensure compatibility between the components. So for the third one, don't neglect safety precautions. Safety should be our top priority throughout the assembly process. Do not overlook safety precautions mentioned in the instruction or in the manual. So for the fourth one is don't overlook proper grounding. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. We must ensure the solar power trainer is approximately grounded as per the manufacturer's guidelines. And for the last one, do not hesitate to seek help if you encounter difficulties or uncertainties during the assembly process. So do not hesitate to ask help to your supervisor or the one in charge or the one who is well known about this device. So that's all for the don'ts.
So that is all for our research, the solar power assembly trainer. And this is again the BTLED IA3 researchers. Thank you for watching, and God bless.